Hello, everybody. Oh, look, my loyal fans are here. All right. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Kathy. How were your classes today, or what are you going to teach? I have 2 in the mid-afternoon. I have a brand new section starting today. My limit is 7. I already have 5. 5 for a brand new section. That is awesome. All right. So I'm going to read there's 2 Outschool emails, and there was a report last week for VIPKID. It happened to come out a few hours after Rebecca went live. So I'll read that. While I'm thinking about it, Rebecca, do you want to do the weekly reports next week? Because I will not be at work. I am going to New York, and I have tickets to Hamilton actually a week from today on Tuesday to see Hamilton in New York, guys. So this is awesome. All right, here, let me go ahead and start reading the reports. Then I have a few things I want to chit chat about. Yes, so here we go. Share screen. I'm going to do Outschool first. Okay, Rebecca said yes. So everybody go to her channel next week. Okay. I'm going to try to share my entire screen. Hopefully that doesn't mean like I end up like sharing myself as well. Hold on. Here. Okay, this is what I want to see. Actually, I can see. Okay, you know what? I just happened, the VIPKID one happened to come up first. So I'm just going to do that one. And I'm looking at myself at what I ended up doing. Yeah, I ended up showing myself. Okay. All right, I lied. I'm doing VIPKID first because it happened to show up. Okay, top reminders from the past month. VIPKID Global is Singapore-based. Did you know? Global is registered as a company in Singapore and serves students around the world. Soon you will see our website translated into additional languages, Spanish, Arabic, Japanese. I'm going to guess the answer is no for the 2 of you who are in the chat, Rebecca and Kathy, but anyone else watching this later who happens to come, are you doing VIPKID Global? I know Kathy and I are both doing ESL on Outschool. Okay, Intro to Global Platform Workshop. DynoU has released an Intro to Global workshop. In this workshop, you can learn the differences between the old and the new platforms. What courses are available? I've heard a lot of complaining on the Facebook pages. I haven't used it myself, just telling you what I heard people saying. Mobile app. Throughout March, you will see updates to the mobile app. We're bringing back upcoming class reminders, time slot management, other functions. Casey talked about this on her channel. I think Rebecca talked about this last week. Correct me. As of February 11th, the VIPKID tablet app is no longer available. Please remember to use the PC app when logging on to the teacher portal. Tax information, by this time you should have received your 1099. Anyone done with their taxes? I actually sort of finished when I was sick with COVID. I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. I pay someone to do it, but I've gotten him all my stuff. Now I got to like sign everything and all that. Ticket responses. Please note that tickets are answered by Monday through Friday, Beijing time. So no weekend tickets. That's kind of how GoGo Kid used to be when they were a thing. They never did anything on the weekend. All right, things we're still working on. Class feedback improvements. Class feedback within the portal. So they're going to try to go back to doing it the old way where you do feedback through the portal. I've heard a lot of complaints about this on the Facebook pages, that people saying like they got charged or they got docked $10. And here's the thing. I hear that you were still docked $10 at VIPKID, even though you're only making 7 per class. They definitely have some kinks to work out. Okay, just for fun. Have you been caught up in the Wordle fun? Try this version. Has anyone been doing that? I've seen all the Facebook things of everybody doing that, but I have not tried it. Check out the VIPKID Network community page for meetups, events, Black-owned businesses. All right, since we're on VIPKID, there was like an email I wanted to show you guys from VIPKID. Okay, So they're offering me $250 upfront payment, Book Nook tutoring for Tennessee partnership. So it's like a Book Nook thing. Tell me, so I got one that was for Maryland and I got $100 incentive. This one's offering me $250. Are you guys getting these incentives? Are they enticing you to want to try it? They're not enticing me because I would lose more than $250 if I was to commit to do this thing as what I would lose in my Outschool classes over time. Because I think you have to commit to like several weeks in a row and you can't take time off. If I'm getting this wrong, anyone who actually does this, let me know. But that's not even worth it to me. I love like Outschool when I can take off whenever I need to. All right, let's go to Outschool. So this email is talking about daylight savings. The thing that you should know is it will follow you as the teacher. So if your time changes, like if your class is at 2 p.m. and then daylight savings happens, it's going to stay the same. It's going to stay at 2 p.m. The only problem comes in is if you have students in your class that don't observe daylight savings, which in America, I know places in Arizona and Hawaii, which isn't an issue for me. During the day, I mostly have American students, but then my ESL classes, I need to Google which countries switch. I think all the Asian countries like don't observe it. So in that case, I think I'm going to switch the time for me so it can stay the same for them. Let me know what you're doing as far as that goes. Okay, so as a global community, as an educator, your schedule will follow your time zone. Okay, so here's some things you need to know. Daylight savings, meaning clocks move forward or we lose an hour. US and Canada on Sunday, March 13th. Good, so if you have any Canadian students, nothing will change for them. UK and Europe, March 27th. I do have one UK student in my Diary of One VIPKID class. But I think I happen to be off the weeks the clock changed, and then her clock will change the next week. So, hey, okay, good. That won't even be a problem. Mexico on Sunday, April 3rd. Australia and New Zealand, Sunday, April 3rd as well. I don't have any Australian or New Zealand students. Do you guys? I double checked last night and Australia is like 15 hours ahead of us. So it's literally like the next day right now. Okay. So email parents in anticipation. Since I'm off the week of the change, I think I'm just going to get on all my classes like the week that I'm off and just say something like double check the time, that the time of the class still works for you. The time changed for me if it didn't for you, something like that. For any issues with family schedules, we ask you try to reschedule or transfer the learner. Most kids don't want to miss out. If a transfer isn't possible, if a parent isn't satisfied with this option, contact our support team and we will take things from there. I did lose a student one year who was from Hawaii. So there's always that chance. I mean, it is what it is. We can't help it, I'm going to read all of these things and then I'll get to what you guys are saying. Okay, here's the latest. Okay, spring ahead with new classes. School holidays in March and April leave many kids with extra free time and parents wondering how to fill it. Can you give them the chance to explore passions? I will click on the learn more in a second. Let me know if you're doing any camps for spring breaks. I'm not because I'm taking time off. And then you always have to worry about like filling them, whereas I've got ongoing classes that are full and I don't have to worry about them. So I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing. Market your classes on your profile. So your profile is a place to showcase your business, brand, and background. You know what? I've heard of people doing this and I thought about doing this and just haven't. Now I know I should do this. So I know people who literally put the classes on the profile, and sometimes if there is a progression like this one first, this one, they'll do that. New insights on global class searches. How can we reach more learners outside the US and Canada? Head to this post to find out. I'm going to say, I think, international friendly time zones. Which classes need teachers? We'll go to that one in a second. New enrollment trends, we'll do that in a second. And then this is the top 50 requests. This is really good for new teachers. All right, so let's go to class trends. And okay, trends for spring break season. Okay, pick the right format. That would be like a camp or something like that. Find your hook. Let's see, one-on-one classes are popular with parents looking for tutoring. I know a lot of people doing tutoring. I guess technically I'm doing tutoring because I'm doing ESL. Okay, so find your hook. Make friends and share ideas on social or gaming club. Create a project or accomplish a goal. Look forward to new activities. Okay, so I'm looking at my iPad. Looks like, are you guys seeing what I'm sharing? Because it's just a blank screen to me. Let me know if you're seeing it. Okay. All right. Your profile to market your classes. So here's just a little more in depth in how the person does it. Just to help learners and family find you. I think this would be helpful. Like sometimes you just share your profile on like one of the Facebook pages. And if they had it, I'm going to stop sharing and reshare. I don't know why, but what I'm seeing on my screen is not showing up. It's just a blank screen for you guys. Well, has it been that way the whole time? I hope not. Sorry guys, if it was. Okay. Too many spring break times, can't do them all. Yeah, I think if you were going to do something like that, you would just have to, if I was gonna do camps and spring break, I think I would just do them the whole month of March and April. But it's kind of risky and scary right now because a lot of places are going back in person, and I don't know. I'm gonna stick with what's booking. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, hello, Casey. It's all white. Oh my goodness, has it been that way the whole time? Goodness, I should have stopped and seen what you guys were saying way earlier. I had heard about that a long time ago. I taught my last VIPKID class on Monday. Still no invite to the global, keeping my contract but not opening slots. Wow, still nothing with global? Okay. Casey's not on Wordle. You're one of the people with me. And I've been getting the incentive emails, but also not enticed for the same reason, right? I'm getting them. I can't teach at that time. Yeah. And I do teach at that time and make a lot more with Outschool. Or I'm already teaching on Outschool, right? Exactly. I need to send out a reminder to my parents to remind them about the time change. Most of my kids are US, so it won't affect them except Arizona and Hawaii. Right. And out of 50 states, chances of you having someone. Okay. On ESL, Outschool ESL, I am also switching my time to accommodate the students. I can't wait till this is over and I will know for sure if I schedule correctly. Right. I am lucky I'm away that week because I have a whole week to say check the time. Let me know if that's okay with you. Sorry, you guys. I can't believe it was all white for all that time. I really should have checked what you guys were saying much earlier. Okay, yeah. You guys, I'm sorry. Everybody saw a white screen. Okay. I only have time for my ongoings, right? You know what, ongoings, they're just, that they work. Just stick with them. It's all good. I'm listening while cleaning anyway. I don't usually look. I'm only listening. Didn't notice. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I was sharing a window. I'm going to try just sharing a tab this time. And I'm going to look and make sure you guys can see it this time. I'm so sorry that happened. All right, here we go. From now on, I'm only going to share tabs. I'm not going to share. Okay, and I'm double checking on my iPad to make sure you guys are seeing this. Yes, I see that you can see it. All right, so here's the topic requests. I will just show this. I know at least the people who are live here in the chat are more veteran Outschool teachers that might not need this. But this is really good for new teachers. Brazilian Portuguese. They very specifically said Brazilian. So that must be different from Portugal Portuguese, just like, you know, American and British are different. Doodling in French. Is drawing in French different? Okay. All right. So here, a lot of language classes, life skills, and all right. I'm just going slow. Red pandas. Ooh. Ukraine history, culture, and current information. My civics class, we're talking about the Cold War. The name of the class is U.S. Civics. So I kind of had to keep it related to the United States. So that's why I decided to do the Cold War. But I do think that that would help people understand some of the history and what's happening now. And my geography class in brick and mortar, I did the same lesson. It's rare that I can like have my Outschool civics class and my brick and mortar geography class like coincide. It's a little different for geography because I could more go into what other countries are doing, whereas I had to keep it more focused on the US for my that class. Let me know if you guys are doing anything for that. I guess it depends what, you know, subject you teach. Oh, good. Everybody can see it now. Rebecca's getting ready, her kids ready for school. All right. And everybody sees it. It is different. Okay. So sharing only the tab this time. Here, oh, this one you guys might like. Classes that need educators. For those of you who are looking for more bookings and ideas for other classes to do. Okay, so here is classes that need educators. Art. Wow, 63% search term with 3 to 7. Oh, wait, look at that. 8 to 10 had a 51 search. All right, if Jerry watches this later, she teaches art. Here's some insight by the age and book clubs, 56%. Fractions, etiquette. I see a lot of people asking for etiquette on the Facebook pages. Okay, yes, there. And let me see if there was anything else I wanted to share. Then I want to chit chat with you guys. I actually have some things I want to chit chat with you about this time. Not that one. Around the world searches. Those of you who want more international students, here we go. Cooking, speech, reading, gaming, art. Okay. Reading would be good. You know what I decided to do? I have heard if you have at least 3 sections of a class open, it bumps you up in the algorithm. So I have 2 sections of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and they're only half full. So it's like I tried to start another section, same time, but on a different day. Like I have a 2 o'clock on Wednesday and Thursday, so I tried to start at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. It didn't take off. And then last night I decided, you know what? Why don't I just try like super morning? Like I few weeks from it on Tuesday because Tuesdays I don't have any ESL classes. So I'm going to try it. Let's try totally different. Like I've already got 2 half fulls at 2 o'clock on regular weekdays. So let's see what happens. And then I set it for like 3 weeks from now because that's when we start over with book 1. So I thought it was like a great time to start a new section. We'll see what happens. At least I'm appealing to a different audience rather than like the same time, but on a different day. I'm kind of appealing to the same audience. I already have 2 sections they could join, you know? Okay, here, okay. So what are some things I wanted to talk to you guys about? Outschool emails. Oh, I got an email that because they wanted me to open Dogman again. Because I used to have it open. I kind of shut it because I wasn't getting bookings anymore. But then when I went and searched Dogman on the Outschool site, there was 1 million classes that showed up. But very specifically in the email, I always convert it to my time zone. So in my time zone, they wanted like 4 to 6 or 7 or something, which is like 4 is my cutoff. I can't teach after 4. So it's like, if any of you want to teach Dogman after 4, go for it, because that's a time I'm probably never going to do. So I decided not to do it with all the other people they have doing it. That's one of the reasons I closed it. All right, teacher burnout. I know, have you guys felt teacher burnout? Maybe not now, but in the past. First of all, tell me about a time when you felt teacher burnout. What did you do to try to combat it? So about 2 weeks ago, I was feeling so overwhelmed. I go from like one thing to the other. I have a lot of prep work between my civics class, brick and mortar. Don't really have to prep that much for Diary of a VIPKID anymore because I've taught it so much. But like, then I've got these like ESL classes. They're not a lot of prep outside, but they just take up time here and there. So I literally started like closing classes. I was going on vacation anyway next week, so everything's closed next week. But some of my classes, like my Wednesday classes, I just decided not to do them this week. I got a lot of ESL classes. So of course I started with the classes that don't make as much money. And I just started like scheduling time here and there. Like if maybe my Thursday section this week, my Wednesday section the week after, you know what I mean? So they stay on the same lesson or book, but like 1 week I had this one off, 1 week I had that day off. Yeah, Casey said teacher burnout is real. What did you do? So then, as you guys all know, I got COVID. So then I was like forced to close all my classes. I'm not happy I got COVID, but let's just say like I needed a break and it forced me. And I knock on wood, fingers crossed, you guys, I think the end is near. I think it is. Well, first of all, I have been vaccinated. I've had 2 shots. So maybe that's why I had a milder form of COVID, but also I hear the Omicron variant is like very mild. So if we're getting to the point where this thing is just a cold, I mean, people get colds all the time. And I have heard that like hospitals are not seeing, new patients or new cases. So if people are getting sick like me, it's not bad enough to go in the hospital. And even New York City, even them, and they have one of the strictest regulations ever. I heard that they're starting to loosen up. So when they are, maybe soon this whole thing will be over. I mean, like whole thing, like we don't have to social distance. Nobody has to wear a mask, no matter where you live, like everything. So anyways, all I'm saying is I had a pretty mild form of it. The biggest thing is my daughter has a chronic illness and she's vulnerable. So we were worried about her getting it. Even after I felt better for like the next 10 days, I wore a mask, especially around her. I wore a mask when I went to my brick and mortar school. My brick and mortar school is not strict about masks. I do believe in wearing them, but I kind of hate wearing them when I teach because I feel like, you're like muffled anyway. So yeah, hopefully we are. My son got a really mild form of it too. He was maybe sick for like 2 days, maybe 1 day where he was like in bed, had a fever, same with me. So anyways, have any of you had it? If you had it more at the very beginning, I'm sure it was like much worse. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? So, yeah, thank you, Casey. Thanks. So I wanted to, I like to like bring up what people are chatting about on the Facebook pages. So people are going a little crazy on the Facebook pages. Not surprising, right? I mean, that happens in social media. But so those of you who were like, Casey, you were a kindergarten teacher, and Rebecca, I think you taught kindergarten, right? Or was it first grade or maybe both or something? So when I subbed in a first grade class, like these children would like tattle on each other for like things that had like nothing to do with them, like nothing. Like they'd be like, she's not turned around listening. It's like, okay, she's not like, how does that affect you in any way that she's not turned around listening? You know what I mean? Like, you taught kindergarten for 5 years. Okay. So like, yeah, there are times when you need to tattle, like you hear these crazy stories, like a school shooter and kids knew about it, but they didn't want to tattle. So I don't believe teaching them not to tattle. I just believe teaching them when you tattle and when you don't. Like if they're hurting themselves or someone else, if they're doing something that's not affecting you, leave them alone. You know what I mean? Your daughter is a tattler. Okay, so we have some adults that like never grew out of this for whatever reason. And like when I used to work in person, I worked with this guy one time who was like a 40-year-old tattletale, would like go around tattling on everybody or like on purpose bring up stuff in front of your boss. And like maybe if it's something like a real moral issue, like if I saw someone on Outschool like outright copied someone's class, like I would definitely tell on that for some reason. But like we've got people who like go on the Facebook page and are like, you are not following the what is it? You're why are we doing Encanto? That's not copyright. Like, first of all, number one, how do you know? If you don't have an Encanto class, if you're not Disney, if you're not Outschool, then it's really none of your business. And we've got people like tattling. And then some people are like, oh, well, report it to Disney. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Outschool pays your bills. That's pretty dumb. But if you want to do that, go ahead. I just keep scrolling. I feel like some people are mad because they feel they are losing money because parents are booking the copyrighted classes they can't do. Right. And you don't even know you don't know if they got permission or not. And whether they did or not, it's none of your business. Like, and then so funny, I would ask them, are they hurting you? Are they hurting others? Is it dangerous? Then I don't need to know about it. Exactly. She's also an instigator. Yeah, I teach 9th grade. One time I had a girl who's like, he's eating in class. I think she was expecting him to get in trouble, but instead I was like, why don't you stop being a tattler? Yeah. Or like people who are taking the rules like way too far. Like Outschool has this rule, like your parents are not supposed to like be on camera. And that's like to protect parents from like taking over the class. It's like to protect you. And people are like, oh my gosh, she walked around in the background. I mean, that's not what they're talking about. Or like, they have a rule that like siblings are not supposed to be in the class if they didn't pay. I totally agree. If they're like participating, raising their hand as if they hadn't paid, but if they're literally just off to the side in the background, accidentally making noise, I wouldn't even flinch. And these people are like taking these rules way too far. Like if Outschool had a problem with this, they would make sure we knew, like about the keeping everything on, all communication on Outschool. They've sent out several emails about that and really emphasized it. So like, that that's something they're really serious about. I think like a parent just happened to like walk by accidentally in the background. That's not what they're talking about, people. You are being like ridiculous about these rules. I think those of us that taught ESL are somewhat immune to being bothered by a parent, right? If they have clothes on, that's all good. Exactly. And the parents, younger kids on screen, I'm fine with a quick glimpse for tech issues or a baby saying hi and leaving. Right. I think the rule was there to prevent people from like, trying to get 2 for 1, like paying for a class, getting a class for free, basically, for one student. And then people were literally saying that like some parents were saying like, can you keep your other kid quiet? How about you just mute them? How about you mute the kid instead? I also don't believe in embarrassing a child in front of everybody for something the parent did, right? So the parent's the one that maybe put 2 kids in the class and only paid for 1. You should not embarrass a child for that. You should not be like in front of the whole class. Hey, you can't be here. This is what I do. You don't say anything until the class is over, and then you say something to the parent. You don't embarrass children for something that their parents did. I believe strongly in that. Yeah. Hello. I don't know how to say your name. Tell me what your real name is, and I'll say hello to you. But so true. Always address issues privately if you can. Right. Especially something that's not the kid's fault. And if it's an ongoing class, like I probably would like soften the blow by just saying something like, hey, I offer, both kids need to be paid for. I offer a sibling discount. Maybe not everybody does offer a sibling discount, but that would be one way that you could do it, like without like putting children on blast to like for something their parents did. Yes. Right. And so true. Always. Yeah. Let's see. Did I miss anything anybody said? I just realized I was behind the live, so my messages were all coming way after what you said. Right. Keep on scrolling. Right. So anyways, yeah, that was my rant. Just like they got to me enough where I did say something. And you know what? I had a lot of people liking and hearting my responses. So, hey, I hit a nerve. Yeah. So anyways, Rebecca will be on next week for any Outschool emails or if there is a VIPKID weekly report. Well, thank you guys for coming and hearing the reports. And I will be back, hopefully, unless something happens, in 2 weeks. And yeah, bye, guys. See you next time. Zaijian.